Hi, my name is Lorelai, and today we'll be going through masking. So I will be teaching you, but also teaching myself how all these things work in Adobe Lightroom Classic. So we are going to zoom out first to see the whole image. Now, I did this one as an example for my very first video. So this is just my overlay color. You can choose whatever color you like. Personally, I feel like green would be pretty good for this image. I'm going to show you how I got here. So first I'm going to delete it. So there's subject, sky, background, landscape, objects, brush, linear gradient, radial gradient, range. Don't have people, so this doesn't matter. Okay. I'm going to select subject, which usually is a person, but since I have a pretty clear, one subject, I feel like they could get it. Okay, so they did, but they didn't. So you can add or subtract to this mask. So since I do not want this over here and I just want this palm frond, I'm going to subtract, and you can do it in various different ways. You could click select object, but then it might get this one that you want. So I'm just going to do brush. So I have my tool, just going to go over it and erase that piece. Okay. This we could get really into detail, but since I just want to show you what it does, I'm just going to go over little pieces of it, and my computer is slow because it's almost 10 years old now, I think, so please bear with me. Okay. We have basically just the palm frond. Ignore the little pieces, okay? So, with that being said, I can edit just this palm frond. Okay, so all the same editing things that you found over here is going to be the same in masking, but for things individually. So I have just the palm frond that I want to edit. So we can do exposure, make it really bright, make it really dark. It's in my hands, really. It's all up to me and the masks. So I think I'm gonna not do that. I think I do want to make it darker, honestly. I don't love how yellow it is. I think it's too neon highlighter-y. So we're gonna keep it more orange. So I put the highlights down a little bit. I think I'm gonna bump up the shadows. I don't really think that did much, but doesn't matter. Also, if I move things and I want to go back, but I can't find 0 exactly when I put it right like this, you can type it. Oops. You can type it over here. Just put 0. Or what I find easiest is that you could just, whatever, don't like it, you could just double click it. Double click. Okay, see, my computer is glitching. I'm going to do that one more time. Go here, double click. There we go. Goes back to 0, like nothing ever happened. So I just put down my highlights, up my shadows. I think I'm going to change the temp a little bit just to give it more of a warm feeling, not so much of a yellow feeling, even though this is yellow over here. So ignore that. That's pretty much all I want to do as of right now. So that's just for the palm frond. Now, I am going to create a new one and do radial gradients. Now, this is to make a circular mask, okay? It's gonna be on the palm frond, but I'm not going to use it how you think I'm going to. Since I just edited the palm frond, I don't need to do that again. Okay, so I'm actually going to take this and click these 3 dots over here, duplicate and invert. So I'm going to do the complete opposite of what this mask is, okay? So this mask, that's the radial one, I'm going to delete. This one, which is everything around the circle, that's what I'm going to edit. Okay, so I could have done the same thing, taking this and inverting it, but since there's so much better of like a feathering with the gradients, that's like the whole point in what gradients is, I think it would just be a better move. So this, I'm just playing around with how I want the circle to look, and then I'm going to edit it from there. I do want it to look darker around it, but not too dark. So obviously I'm not going to make it like pitch black, because obviously I'm just looking at a palm frond, but that's a little goofy. So I'm just going to turn off the overlay so I can still see the image. And if you have a monitor and you can like see another one, you can keep that on or whatever. But since I don't have a second viewing point, I'm gonna turn it off and edit like this. So I'm gonna turn down the highlights because I do not want to show that there's like whites everywhere, or highlights I should say, not whites exactly. So I'm also gonna turn down the whites because I really just want to focus on the frond and not so much anything else. Since it is green, I am gonna make it a little more green, obviously not too much. Maybe I am gonna do too much, I don't know. Honestly, I think I'm gonna do warmth and then make it greener. Kind of like it like that. So you can see that there's a lot of green around it, but like this is the main focus, and that it's not green, obviously. And like, how does that happen? I have no idea. Don't know anything about science. Now you can do different kinds of things. So that was radial gradients. This is linear. You can take it and push on the image and then drag it. So you can drag a gradient from left to right. That's what it's showing right here. So you're editing right here, and it's going to feather about right here. So just for example, I'm going to make it super bright. So like that looks like there's a light coming from over there, but it's going to fade out into the rest of the image. So I'm going to take that off. I could delete it, or I could just click this little eye to hide it because I don't want it there. I am going to delete it just because I like being organized and it's going to confuse me. That is pretty much it. I don't really want to touch anything else to this image. You can click these little arrows just to move the little masks out of the way, but they're still here in the corner. If anything, I'm going to go back to a global edit, and I'm going to make it a little smoother with the texture and kind of smoothen out the pixels. So I'm going to do that with texture and clarity just to give it like a foggy feel to it. So that's pretty much it. I think that is a good final result. I might even do a little more darkening on the inverted radial gradients. But as of right now, I really like that it's green and around it, and then there's a high contrast between the yellow and the green. So that's the end of this picture, and next time I will show you a different picture and how to edit it, and probably a different way, and maybe with people, so I can show you and I could learn myself what the red eye correction is. So yeah, see you at the next one.